Welcome back, everyone. This video today is going to be geared towards you high school students looking to get that first job. So if you're thinking about getting that first job, or maybe you've already landed your first job, that can be really exciting. You can finally make that money on your own without asking mom and dad. But getting that first job also carries with it a lot of responsibility. Having supervised high school students for over 12 years, today I want to share a list of 5 things I wish I knew before I got my first high school job, and things I wish high schoolers who worked for me knew before they started. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Number 1, look for a job in a field you might want to major in or work in after graduating. So here's why you want to do that. It's going to give you a taste of what the field is actually like. Until you're actually in a field, you aren't going to really know what it's like. You can guess what you think it's like, but that doesn't mean you'll really enjoy it. You may realize that you like parts of it, but not enough to work in it long term. Or you may realize that you love a certain part of it, and you decide you want to pursue a specialty. The point is, you're not going to know until you're in it. You'll be able to gain the upper hand over others by getting experience from the ground up. When you graduate and enter the workforce, the competition for entry-level jobs is going to be tough. But if you've been in the field for a few years, even as a frontline staff person, and can point to things that you've actually accomplished in the field, you're going to have a leg up on the person who comes in with just a degree and no other experience. You'll be able to build connections in that field. You'll be able to get to know managers and supervisors in your company and organization. They'll be able to provide references for you, answer questions about the industry that other people aren't going to be able to ask or answer. And they're going to be able to point you to job openings or internships as well. Who knows? They may even want to hire you after you graduate and you'll already have a job lined up. You cannot put a price on a strong network. If you don't like the field, it's not a big deal if you leave in high school versus after you spent tens of thousands of dollars on a college degree. Imagine going to school and after 4 years you graduate and get that first job in the field, but you really hate it. The problem is now you've spent tens of thousands of dollars and are possibly in debt. So what do? Do you go back to college and try to get a degree in something else and spend even more money? If you start in high school and you hate it, you can leave the job and it's no harm, no foul, and you haven't lost anything. Number 2, if you're going to get a job, make it a priority. There's nothing that irritates a manager more than that high school kid who has no availability, never subs for his coworkers, or works so little they feel like they're hiring a new employee every time you work. Remember, you're important. If you're hired for a job, that means a company sees you as valuable and you have potential. They believe you can help serve their customers. Just because you're in high school doesn't mean you don't have a serious role to play. If you don't do your part, you can have a negative impact on that business. On the other hand, if you do a good job, you can have a really positive impact on the business. You're not forced to be there. Remember, you chose to work there. If you choose to do something, treat it as important. Working is a privilege and not a right. If you can't give the company any sort of consistency, you shouldn't be working there. Try to work at least 2 nights per week and 1 day on the weekend. But you may say, well, I'm in sports and I'm in a club and I have church and I have all these other obligations. If that's the case, you don't need to be working. Jobs don't exist just so you can have one. Businesses actually rely on you doing a good job so they can serve their customers. Remember, this might be a temporary, part-time thing for you, but it may be a lot more than that for some other people that work there. Just because you see this as a temporary job in high school, it may be much more important to other people. Many places that hire high school students also employ many adults working part-time as a second job to gain extra income to support their families. You owe them that respect as well. When you don't put the job as a priority, it makes everyone look bad. More than likely, you're not going to perform as well as others. And to be honest, no one's going to want to work with you anyway because they see you as a liability. You're not reliable and you don't have the ability to do the job well. Number 3, learn how to save money. Now, I don't just mean going to the bank and putting some money into an account. I mean, really think about planning out your finances. Try to develop a plan on how you're going to spend money each pay period and how much you want to save each pay period. Develop a budget. Open up 2 bank accounts at the same bank. Have the money that you want to save each pay period deposited into one account and the rest should be deposited into the other. For example, if you make $100 per pay period and you have $20 in expenses, you might want to save $50 in one account and $50 in the other account. That way, you have some money left over to spend and you're still able to save half of what you made. Don't touch the money you save. Keep it out of sight, out of mind. The money you don't touch is going to add up quickly, and by the time you're in college, you should have quite a bit of money saved up. Too much of the world already lives paycheck to paycheck. Don't become another person who does. Financial difficulties are one of the biggest problems plaguing people today, but you don't have to let it be a problem for you. Number 4, take time to learn the soft skills. Don't just focus on learning the tasks that you have to do at your job. What will really make you successful in the long run is learning and practicing soft skills. These are skills such as crucial conversations with your coworkers, listening and accepting feedback from others, communication with guests, and conflict management. These are skills that people who have worked for decades struggle with, so start early. Here's an example. If you can learn how to have an uncomfortable conversation over things like scheduling or disagreements with a coworker, you'll be able to take what you've learned and adapt it when the stakes are much higher. So many professionals with years of experience never took the time to master soft skills, which can have a huge impact on their careers. The best leaders are those that took the time to hone the soft skills because those are the skills that are hardest to develop. Number 5, think about the bigger picture. Whenever I had a high school staff member who was in need of coaching due to work performance issues, I always asked them how they would respond if they were in their field and their employee was performing like they were. Here's an example. I had a program instructor who really wanted to be a teacher, and she was being lazy one night and not doing very good demonstrations for her class, and in some cases not doing any at all. I pulled her aside and simply asked, when you're a teacher, are you going to just put a problem on the board and not show your students how to do it? She got red because she immediately knew what I was talking about. I continued, how well would your students do? Not very well, she replied. And how would you feel knowing that you didn't give them the tools they need to succeed? Like I failed them, she said. Like you failed them. Exactly. So this job, whether you realize it or not, is teaching you how to have the right mindset for when you become a teacher. You can't get lazy or take a day off because you're not in the right mood. People's futures are depending on you, so you have to give them everything you got every single day. That was the only conversation I ever had to have with her because she gave 100% every time she came in after that. Think about what you're doing at your job. How's this job going to help you? What skills are you learning that you can use in other areas in the future? Like I told my staff member, your first jobs will help you form the mindset you'll need to be successful. Reflect and take the time to understand what you're really doing when you're at work. It will pay off. Anyways, that will just about wrap up this video. So what did you think about this list? Is there anything you'd like to add? If you're in high school, what part of this list did you enjoy the most? Remember, like, comment, and subscribe for more tips and advice on how to navigate your career, and we will see you soon.